National POLST encourages everyone to have an advance directive. POLST is the next step in advanced care planning for people who are seriously ill or have advanced frailty. Advance directives are called different things in different states, but they are legal documents you fill out. You use advance directives to say who you want the healthcare team working with to make medical decisions for you if you cannot communicate or participate in those discussions. The person you choose is called a surrogate, a proxy, or a healthcare agent. Again, the term varies by state. You can also share your general treatment wishes in an advance directive. A POLST form is a medical order completed by the patient's provider. It states the goals of care given the patient's current medical condition and provides specific medical orders to other providers in case of an emergency. So this is a typical situation. A patient has an emergency, 911 is called, and the first responders show up. Advance directives don't provide medical orders, so first responders do not look at them. Instead, they are required to do what is medically possible and reasonable to attempt to save someone's life unless there is a medical order saying something different. So EMS takes the patient to the hospital. The hospital healthcare team will attempt to save the patient's life and may put the patient in the intensive care unit and on a ventilator if necessary. Even in the emergency department in the hospital, there isn't always time to read the advance directive and figure out what treatments the patient would want. The goal is to first stabilize the patient. And once the patient is stable, then the healthcare team will have time to look at the advance directive, if they have a copy, and see who the patient chose as a surrogate. Working with the surrogate, the healthcare team will use the general treatment wishes provided in the advance directive to figure out the right plan of care. With POLST, however, the process changes. The patient has an emergency and 911 is called. The first responders show up. They review the patient's POLST form. If it says comfort-focused treatments, the patient will be treated where they are. The patient will not be transferred to the hospital unless comfort cannot be managed where the patient currently is. But even if the patient does need to go to the hospital, staff there will be able to see the patient's goal is to get back to where they were. If the POLST form orders full or selective treatments, the patient will be transported to the hospital. The hospital staff will look at the patient's POLST form, and if it says selective treatments, the patient will be treated, but not in the ICU. If it says full treatments, they may be put in the ICU and on a breathing machine if needed. Please look at our website and watch other videos and read the rest of the pages to learn more.